Hello everyone. I guess the heat from US election 2024 is almost over. I know there are so many emotions after election. People can be happy, people can be sad. And I understand that this is the kind of thing that people have to do every 4 years. It is your right, even though it's not your obligation. No, it's not your obligation, but it's still your right to exercise the right to vote. And I think it is very important that you can raise your voice every 4 years. Plus, I think that there are some kind of cases that it can cause violence or unstable environment or very toxic atmosphere on both sides. One side can be blaming for whatever reasons, another side can be laughing at those blaming side. I understand. Alright, it's over. So I think there's something I want to talk about tariffs, because I believe that a lot of people has been having a lot of questions about how the tariffs can be good for economy, because as we know, the US election 2024 is all about economy, and Americans have answer about how to think about economy that should be going so far. Trump was very specific about his economic plans, including tax cut, no on tips, no on benefit of social securities, and no on overtime, plus general income tax. And he would be replacing it with the tariffs. Maybe he didn't talk too much about the tariffs, and that's why people did not get what it means. And the reason why I want to say that tariffs is good not only for America but also for the whole world, because as we know, we have certain countries in the world which have been manipulating many industries for decades and ripping off other countries so bad. And that is why tariffs should be put on those manipulators, including China, Russia, and many other countries which are using the economic tricks in order to take advantage of the taxpayers' money from the other countries like America. So what does tariffs means? So tariffs is a way that you're going to be taxing on the imported goods into a nation. For example, America importing goods from China, so that goods would be put on tax. But not all the time tariffs is going to be used as the best way in order to make the economic negotiations, because for the long term, if you put all the tariffs on every country in the world, you're gonna be putting on the higher cost of living and consumptions in the economy, which will essentially harm Americans so bad. But that does not mean that it doesn't work in some cases. Trump has been known to propose the idea of free trade and fair trade. For example, if America has 10 tons of soybeans, China has 10 tons of wheat. So, American proposed the idea, okay, I will buy 10 tons of wheat from you, you have to buy 10 tons of soy from me. And if you break the promise of doing that, the products of wheat that we buy from you, or anyone importing the wheat from your country would be taxed on that if it is imported into America. And that is actually the basic of tariffs. Tariffs only used when there is the imbalanced trade or any fair trade that has the broken promise. And some people is gonna be like thinking about, okay, most of the time we buy goods from China because goods from China are much cheaper, and if we put tariffs on it, it's gonna be driving up higher prices, and that is gonna be harming Americans. But you have to remember one thing: China is not the only country in the world trading with USA. Without China, we have Vietnam. Without Vietnam, we have Malaysia. Without Malaysia, we have Indonesia. Without Indonesia, we have Philippines. Without Philippines, we have Laos. Without Laos, we have Thailand. Without Thailand, we have Cambodia. A lot of countries having the same resources like China. And every country in this world want to have the fair trade deal with America. Because if America putting on tax or tariffs on China, all the countries would be coming to America proposing the same idea in order to make the fair trade with Americans. In the exchange, in the return, those countries would be given the free trade deal with America if you trade fair. For example, most of the time America import steel from China. I mean, just an example, not all the time. But if the China does not buy the same amount of commodities from America, the Chinese steel would be put on tariffs anytime when it is imported into America. But at the same time, America can be talking to Japan. Hey, do you want to have a free trade deal with me? All right, for sure. All right. How about I'm going to be buying the steel from your country, from Japan, without any tariffs. But at the same time, you have to buy all the kind of commodities from my countries by the same amount, the same value. We make a deal. At the time, China has lost the free trade deal with America, but Japan has a free fair trade deal with America. And Japan is not going to be the only one, but many other countries can also do the right thing, the same thing by that. And that is how the other countries can benefit a lot from Trump's economic plans with tariffs. We cannot all the time rely on China for any kind of resources, materials, or imported goods. We have so many other countries having the same types of products in the world, even cheaper than China. Because right now, China labor cost has been driving up much higher every single day. So that is actually the benefit of tariffs. Of course, tariffs can be harmful if you go to every country and put on tariffs on everything. Of course, because you actually have no other countries that actually can have the free trade deal with you. That will essentially cause the long-term collapse on the trade accounts of America. Right now, the trade accounts of United States of America is at a very heavy deficit. And surprisingly, the trade account of China is on surplus for decades. How did that happen? Think about that. And it has never been a good thing at all. And that is the reason why I think tariffs would be a good tool in order to saturate the prosperity to the other countries, which want to have the free and fair trade deal with America, but at the same time put China on the negotiation table to renegotiate what has been happening for the last decades. Tariffs can be very effective to make someone to renegotiate what they have been doing for so long. And that is my final words about tariffs. So, thank you very much for listening, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.